Hi guys, and welcome to another Bootstrap 4 video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesigntechtips.com. Well, we've been putting this little site together with Bootstrap 4. We built the original thing with fantastic Blueprint software. It took us about 5 minutes to put it together, the little wireframe of this little one-page site here. Really handy piece of software. You can download it from a link below this video. There's also an 80% off coupon down there for you. Now when you've made your little site here, you just render the file with the file button there, and it outputs an index.html file. Or it outputs an HTML file, which is what we're looking at here. So here's our root folder where we output our index.html file to, which is the site we're looking at there. We've just been adding the images as we've been going along and customizing the site, getting it how we want it. Today what we're going to do is work with the cards section. We've done all these sections, videos, etc., carousels, and here we've got a selection of cards. Now what I want to do today is pick out something that I like. These are all different types of cards. I think I'll probably go for the second one right here, and then duplicate it, because you don't want a hodgepodge of all different cards. Well, you might, but I don't. I want one, and I want sort of a couple of rows of it. So let's go back to our root folder and start editing. Now you're going to need a text editor for this. If you don't have one, you can download the free Brackets, which is what I'm using here, Brackets text editor, from a link down below. Like I say, it's absolutely free and it's pretty awesome actually. But if you have a text editor you like to use, that's going to work fine. Any text editor will do. So here's where we left off, which was our download PDF button we created for downloading a PDF just up here. So our next section is just below that. First thing I'll do is I'll change this title out. I won't bother with the subtitle, and we'll select a card. So let's have a look. There's our download PDF. There's the end of the section. There's the beginning of our new section. Here's the title. Put in whatever you want, but just remember, don't clip off those little pointy tags when you're putting in your text, because it will not work. Okay, I'm not going to do the subtitle. Now if we look down below, we've got cards. Here's our column of 12, which is full width. We've got card columns. We've got a card right here, and if I click on the opening one with brackets, it'll show you the closing div here. So that's our first card, second card, etc. Now the one I actually want, I think, is this one, card title. This card has supporting text. Let's have a look. Card title, yeah, this one right here, card title. This card has supporting text. So I'm going to delete all of the other cards. So let's go back to our brackets. There it is right there. So I can delete the card that's above it and the card that's above that. But I don't want to delete the card columns. I want to keep that there because it's going to be part of it. So I can delete that. I'll leave that little gap there for a minute. This is the card that we want. Now I can delete all these other cards. When we get down to the bottom here, I want to be a bit careful, because there's our opening div. There's interior div, closing div. So I only want to cut it right there. So that's the end of the card container. If you're not sure, click on the opening class card and it will highlight the closing one for you. So we've got 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, should be fine. Delete that, all gone. So I'm just left with this one card, and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. So Control C to copy. I'm just going to pop down underneath it. Control V to paste. I'm going to pop down underneath it again and paste it in one more time. So we've got 3 of the same instances right here. Let's get rid of that little gap that I left at the top there. Control S to save. Now if I go back to the site and refresh, we should have just 3 of the same cards. There we go. Fantastic. And as you can see, it's changed to card section also. Alright, so I want to start making these my own as well. Edit text is really easy. Changing the image is really easy. So what I'll do, we've kind of done this before. I'll quickly make some images that are roughly the right shape and put them in here. There we go, and as you can see I've got 3 little images roughly the right sort of shape that we want them here. And we'll insert these here and just change our titles out. Now if we look at this, back to our brackets, they're actually using a bit of JavaScript. I mean, you can take this away and it'll return the actual thing to its default setting if you want it to be a bit taller, but this is actually dictating the height of it here. So if I was to get rid of the data source, just to show you, and also I want to get rid of the data holder rendered true and the style and the height. I'll put this back in a minute, delete. I'll save that, go back to the site. Not something that I particularly use, but it's generated it for this, which is making these things be a bit skinnier than they normally would be with that JavaScript. If I refresh, this first one should change height. And that's a regular card with no JS on there. So if you wanted to do that and have a larger image, you could do that way. I'm going to leave it as is. If I go back here, I'm going to simply hit Control Z or Z until it's back how it was. Got rid of that. Got rid of that right there. Control S, that should be fine. So now it's back how it was. All I'm going to do is change the image out. Here we can see the image. And they're using an online image. Basically, it's pulling an image from an online website, unsplash.com, which is a great site for stock photos. I'm going to delete that and put my own image in there. Because we put it in the root folder, which is the folder where the index.html resides, I just need to put in the name, C1, C2, C3, and they're all JPEG, so it'll be C1.jpg, etc. If I put that in there, as soon as I type C, it'll probably find those. There we are, C1. And I'll just change the title. I'm not going to do anything else with it. Here's our second one. I'm going to do the same for the image here. So C, it's found it, C2. If not, you just type in C2.jpg. That's fine too. And we'll say second. Now let's go to the next one, do the same thing, and we'll say card 3. C3, there's the image, and we'll say third. Save our changes. Now let's have a look at our site. All the images should have changed. They'll be back to this skinnier version. Our titles will have changed there. Let's have a look, see. There we go, first, second, third. Fantastic. So that's how to organize your cards. If you want another row, just simply copy what you've got there, copy it over, and do another 3. So if we take this, here's our last card. There's the bottom of it. Let's go up to the top of our first card, which is right here where it says card. Copy this, Control C. And we'll drop down to just below the end of our last card here and paste that on. Save it, Control S. Now back to the site and we should have another row. There we go. Simple as that. And that's how to organize your cards with the Bootstrap 4 using the Blueprint software there. So I hope you found that useful and enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, have a look down below. We've got some great free web development courses down there, as well as some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers. So do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and WebDesignTechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.